Welcome. Welcome traders. Welcome back to another live trading session. Hope that you had an enjoyable day. Let's begin another trading session today that I'm looking at few instruments to get into the trade. In the meantime, if you are enjoying the live session that I'm doing every single day, let's begin first of all music, right? Which is what we need to first start with. How many of you like music? Say yes if you like music. And then we will be looking at analysis the market in a key level. This is what you would like to enter a trade here. Okay, loud music or short music. So first of all, I'm waiting for all members to show up to come back here in this live session. And before I progress, morning, welcome. This is our second session. Thanks for joining. Welcome back to this live session here. Good afternoon. Thank you very much for joining here. And we can see if you look at here on gold, there is an upside bias, but this is potentially bringing another opportunity for us to sell. Don't you think so? This is the 15-minute chart that I'm looking at, which is showing that there is a possibility for a downtrend here, a break of the structure again, because this market has moved a lot to the upside and potentially to be technically that I'm looking at on gold is off this trend line. There is a potential for a break below. And where I'm looking at here, traders, for an entry back below here. Here's the market. Currently, if you look at the 30 minutes, we see there is a potential for a downtrend in this area. 15 minutes price action showing up that there is a possibility for a downtrending move here in that area. Let's see where the market is heading. And 15 minutes price action showing up that with also the 30 minutes candle close, the price is on a key level now. As with this key level, they're expecting the market to have a potentially a downtrend here as the price has reached that trend line, and off the trend line looking for a possible sell opportunity here. Are you guys ready with me? And we will be also doing a complete analysis for this market to give us a potential entry in that area. The market structure, if you look at here from the 15 minutes chart, this is currently trying to create a potentially a downtrend here. And the price action, if you look at here from the bigger picture perspective, that it is in a long term. If you look at here on a downtrend, and there is a rejection of this higher price here that we can see, so that might bring that market further lower. They're looking to see here to give us a potential entry back below in that market. So we might see a break of support, and with the candle close on the 30 minutes. Also, there is a possibility for a break below. Also, the 5 minutes candle closing in few minutes. And there is a possibility for a break below here. Candle close coming in few minutes on the lower time frame. So here, if you look at the market has reached a trend line, okay, so which is if you look at a lower time frame trend line, and which might be bringing, if you look at the 30-minute candle close here, and I'm looking to see a potentially a down move of this zone, which 30-minute candle closing, and we can see there is a 30-minute candle close, and looking for a potentially breakup structure in that area. So that means if you look at here, I'm getting ready for a potential entry of this level. Okay. There is another long wick candlestick pattern that you can see here in that area, and that is where back-to-back two long wick rejection of this level, and 5 minutes price action as well, creating a pattern. So if we see, as soon as the market managed to break that lower shadow as the 30 minutes candle close with a doji from this zone, I will be looking for a possible sell entry. If you look at the 1 hour, you can see the market has reached a very important key level. And as the market is trending here, because this is currently in a downtrend, and we see the price has reached a very important key zone of this level for the market to eventually for coming to a deeper pullback, which is a high possibility entry that I will be looking at after the previous session's successful entry. If you look at the 5-minute chart here, then you can see the market is creating, if you look at a local upside with few long wick candlestick pattern here in that area. And of that long wick, there is a consolidation, and we'll keep our stop loss above this high and expecting the market to drop here for a deeper pullback to any of these key support area. If you look at here, the market, the lower time frame price action is rejecting of that level and looking for a potential rejection below the support area here in that area, in that zone. So look at the 5-minute chart here, that you can see this is the lower time frame price action here in that zone, and there is some weaker response from the buyers in that area. So we will be looking for an entry before this 5 minutes candle close. And if you look at here, you can see there is a consolidation pattern which is potentially forming a head and shoulder here in that area, and that is key to look at. So that's first, we would like to see the market entirely broken back below or getting a rejection of this higher price, and then we will be looking at sell here in that zone. There's some short-term move may come here in this zone. So the price has tested this top here after this consolidation, and here I would like to look at around 2 ATR stop loss. So if you look, currently 22 pip is the 1 minute ATR, so 2 ATR stop loss will be around or 2.5 ATR around we will be looking at around 70 pip stop loss for a potential sell. As you can see, the market is creating a downtrending market structure in that area, so I'm placing around 270 pip stop loss, and we will be looking at to target the lower shadow as the market has reached a key resistance line. This is a sell by market, and I will be also doing a complete analysis about this trade later today. So I have opened a sell here of that level and also sharing in the same trade in the premium group. So this is the second trade that we are opening in the live as well as in the premium, and also there will be more trade later, hopefully, that as the market is moving at the moment. So we see the price slowly breaking that low, and we are running in profit now at the moment. The market is on the support. We are running in profit. We have opened just one position on gold, and also we'll be looking at more in-depth analysis of this trade for this session, how the trade was open, why it was open, and what we are thinking here, what we are looking at here for this kind of trade. As you can see that this is the market has reached a key level of resistance, and this is what we're looking for, a breakup structure. As the market has reached that, if you look at this is a key resistance line where the market is trending. And if you look at here, downtrend, the price has reached the resistance, the higher chance for the price action to break below here to retest the support. And that's where we have opened the trade in that area. Looking for a down move of this level. So you look at lower time frame, the market structure here is at the support, and there is a head and shoulder, and looking for a possible a breakup structure here. If you look at the 30 minutes, that you can see there is a doji formation on the 30 minutes of this key level. The market is trying to break that low, which we are running quite a few pip profit at the moment of this level. I'm running around 15 pip and would like to take a potentially bigger move back below of this key support area as soon as the market appears that move. And 5 minutes price action that you can see also creating a long wick doji here in that zone. So especially if you look at the 30 minutes, you can see there is a doji, which is one single move from this support, and that support has not been tested here properly. So there is a higher chance for the price to go ahead and retest this support here in that area. And also you can see that there is another 15 minutes doji, and also the 5 minutes price action closing potentially as a long wick. If you look at here, long wick candlestick pattern, which the 5 minutes closing back below with a long wick, that means the buyers couldn't break that high. So we are looking for the market to eventually remain back below here in that area. Now there's another narrow candlestick pattern closed. We'll see that how the price action evolving in that area. But because the market is on the key level of resistance, there is a higher chance for the price action to here. If you look at the 15 minutes as well, the candlestick pattern was, this is not a stronger buying pressure, and so we sold that for a possible breakup structure below here in that area. Might go little higher here, which is not unusual to see, but ultimately they're expecting for another retest of this order block in that market. So we look at the lower time frame here. So it's a consolidation, and at the same time with the consolidation that creating quite a few long wick rejections. So you can see one here, one here. So with that long wick rejection, the market is showing that weaker response from the buyers in that area. Here's the move. The market is breaking that low, and you guys can see that slowly breaking that support level. They're expecting the market to trend back down to this key support area. And once the market managed to break the support, potentially coming to this lower level here, we are looking for taking profit of this zone after a confirmation of a breakup structure. This is our second trade after the previous one successfully closed during our London session time. Think not decide in which direction. Okay, so yeah, we see that if you look at the market trend was a long time downtrend, but we can see the price has reached a key level of resistance line here. And off that key level, they're expecting the market to come down. I would like to start a poll here. How many of you agree to that the market will potentially drop? So that will help us to know more. So I've shared a poll. If you guys are there, make sure you cast a vote. Will be helpful to know that exactly what you think about the market. We are running in profit though, And make sure, guys, you do proper risk management. The market may go in any direction. You know, I had a really bad trade the day before yesterday, a losing trade, a bit of a higher loss, but not that much that as we gain always. Sometimes it can happen, sometimes it can have a bad trade, but you know, the goal here is to make sure that we remain in a high win rate with risk management. So now as the market is moving, our goal here is to make sure that we are remaining in the high probability zone. So you can see the market slowly creating a downtrending structure, and with the downtrend, if you look at the market from this high here, slowly breaking below, and this is what we want to make sure that we are trading with the trend. That's where, guys, there is an old school saying, if you know that trade with the trend, right? There is a saying that trend is your friend as long, you know, until it bends in the end. So you can't break up with the trend once it bends in the end. You have to keep friendship with the trend as long as you are a trader. So if you are a trader, you have to keep friendship with your trend. This is business. If you are good, you are right 6 times out of 10. You are never going to be right 9. Exactly. Peter Lynn, thanks for that confirmation. I'm very humble to accept the fact that no one can win all the trade, okay? Because the market will never give you to win all the trade, okay? We have a very high win rate. You see that the previous London session live was a winner. Now this one also approaching towards that. But I'm humble enough to say that sometimes I have also losing trade, and that's the part of trading, and that's why trading is so interesting, because something cannot always go up. It has to come for a retracement, right? So that's the part of trading. That's what makes trading interesting and really attractive to me, and that's why I love trading. And how many of you love trading? Trading creates freedom, and that's what we do as a trader. You can see that as soon as the market open, as soon as I'm on the trade, we have opened a trade. Currently I'm at 40p profit running with all of you. Say yes, how many of you trading with me this trade? And I would like to take this one as well, even if it is earlier, but I would like to hold a little bit, because if this market drops, it might drop further lower and we can take potentially big. So I would like to keep you guys on the loop. So I would like to see how many of you want to keep running, how many of you want to take profit. So let's keep engaging, and that will be helpful. By the way, if you haven't liked this stream, make it do so. There's a lot to take from here, and I do share all my trade in the premium group. Thank you very much. And did you like this stream? Say yes if you liked, and also make sure you subscribe to the channel, press the notification bell so that you are not missing any of the content that I am posting every day. Yes, thank you very much. Thanks for confirmation. Here we are looking at high probability. This is the channel where you guys will find the maximum number of trade being opened and most of the time closing in profit. This is only the channel, right? We have the highest rate of trade opening, right, in this whole thing, and also we have a highest rate of profit taking. Euro JPY, I think it's good to sell. Can you check? Yep, I'll be looking at Euro JPY, and in the meantime, if anyone trading any instrument, you can write on the live chat. We will be also I will be looking at your pair, and also when you request for an analysis, please also mention the time frame, so you can say that for example Euro JPY, what time frame you are trading, so I can give you an idea, because what is happening on the 4 hour and what is happening on the 15 is very different, right? So if any one of you trading, let's say BTC USD or even Ethereum, XTP USD, anything, while you are running the trade, also you can share your currency pair or anything instrument that you are trading, if you need to know the potential direction that that analysis. If you want me to do that, you can share in the live chat. Thank you very much. Like to keep running the trade. Okay, I'm also running. We see some upside bias. It might go for a deeper pullback, but if it continues to trend, that's gonna be a significant move here, right? If it continues to trend, we might be able to take this whole move here, almost nearly to 150 pip. All right. So if it continues to drop, so I would like to also keep it running. I never expected the market to rebound so quickly. For example, Nasdaq, S&P 5. Yes, absolutely. The market is a bit of slower thing. Sometimes it goes in your favor, sometimes it will not. But the goal here is to take the maximum when it goes in your favor. So here I'm looking at Euro JPY. One of you asked for an analysis. All right, so looking at Euro JPY. Now, Euro JPY, what time frame you are looking? Can you let me know who asked for Euro JPY 4 hour? Okay, so 4 hour. 4 hour time frame on Euro JPY, looking at the daily. Okay, so this market is bullish, but at the same time we can see that it's on the top from the monthly, from the daily. Okay, so this market, just seeing that, what I understood is that it is in a bullish trend, but you can see the market is at the top, right? If you look at the monthly, because 4 hour you must look at the monthly. See, monthly, it's in a no man's land. That means this is a almost a very high price. So, but also you cannot trade in a sell in an uptrending market. So the best entry will be to draw a support level on the daily. You see daily narrow doji. At some point this market may come below here to retest this daily low. And once the market drop down to the daily low, if you look at the 4 hour here, this is the current support area. You can see there is a consolidation in that area. And of that consolidation, the chances for the market to reverse back again of that support is where the area. So we might see, you see this 4 hour candle closing, it is closing as a bull candle, but for me, it's a very high chance this market will come back again down. Or even if it goes up, it is a chance that the market will come back down again, because this consolidation didn't trigger stronger liquidity of this support. So the best entry will be once the market breaks below, potentially to this 20 EMA, then to look for buy for this move again back to the upside. All right, so that's the best entry for Euro JPY will be. Going back to gold again. So it's pushing back again on gold, but I'm still looking for a sell position. I'm still holding on to that. So I'm still biased towards the downside. Okay, so there is an upside bias, but if this market reject off this level, we might see that deeper drops, and I'm holding on to that. If there is a rejection of this level, that looking at the market to drop well lower here. And the 30 minutes price action here that's showing up, this market is downside here. Welcome. A bit of upside here, but I'm still holding on to that. And by the way, thank you, Yuri JP, long-term 4 hour. Thanks, no problem. XAUUSD looks bull, so can I buy? We opened sold, the market dropped to a significant lower and then bounced back up. But I wouldn't say it's still bull. If you look at the 1 hour candle close coming, you can see that doesn't look to me still strongly bullish. The market might go to retest this high, but still it's susceptible to fall. Susceptible means, let me double check if I did. Okay, so this has gone up here. Market reached, so there is top here, and they're expecting to remain that resistance and dropping back below. This is the power of patience, right? I see the likes is not going up. YouTube algorithm likes, so if you like this stream, will be helpful. Make sure you like it to 20. All right, cool. Now we are here on a sell trade, and I believe you guys also have done the risk management here, entered with a proper lot sizing. From that high here, the market is eventually trying to pull back below here, and I'm waiting for the price action to show its reaction back below. If you look at here, there is an upside, but at the same time the market has reached this zone here where there is a resistance line, right? And if it is holding that resistance, there is a higher chance for the market to remain downside here in that zone, and this is what we are looking at. Okay, it's breaking below that you can see. Okay, it's start to track down back below here in that area. I'm still holding on to that. So you saw 40 pip drop and then bounce back up here from the 1 hour candle close. That you can see just there was an hourly candle close. So there is now a possibility for a break of structure. If you look at, it's carrying a reaction of this key zone and quite a few long wick candlestick pattern. You can see this is the 1 minute rejection of this price action, and that is what looking to see that if you look at here, it's getting rejection of few times. So 1 hour support is here. The market didn't test the lower shadow of this 1 hour candle open, so they're here looking to see that the price action to retest that low. You can see series of higher low, and there is a resistance here that looking to see, you see the market might straight drop back below. If there is a sudden big drop below, it may go up either, but the chances for a drop is higher. If it breaks this support, we might see straight drop and we will be taking profit as soon as we can see that move happened. Alright, so there is another long wick candlestick pattern here in that area, getting that rejection as we discussed. Okay, we are on the sell and the market is coming down back below. That move is happening and we can see the price action. Alright, so I'm hopeful for the further drop and I'm holding on to that. If you're holding on to this trade, let me know in the live chat that you have holding on to that trade. Say yes, that I'm holding. And the market structure, if you look at this 5 minutes candle, if it is closing as a narrow doji, okay, alright, we are running in some profit. If this trade close, if this candlestick close as a narrow doji, they're expecting this market to continue to trend back below here, and that drop, if it successfully drop down back below and we want to see that it's closing as a narrow doji, then the chances for the market to return back below, as if you look at the 15 minutes price action, it's closing with it's creating a long wick candlestick, which is still has a higher possibility for a continue to trend back down here in the major direction of the trend. So major trend is very important to look at. Right, so if you look at here, the previous 5 minutes was a narrow doji. This one as well potentially closing as a, we want to see it's closing as a narrow doji, not a big green candle, but a smaller body candle, that a higher possibility for this market to push that price down back below in the support area. Okay, so it's pushing that down back below, that as we discussed. And okay, I'm still on it. It's at the entry. There is, if you look at the 1 hour, still the market is trying to push back here, but because it's a long-term downtrend and I'm still looking to see this market to eventually break further lower here, and you can see the bulls are not getting, that means that buyers are not getting enough buying pressure. So we could see that potentially the market to continue to fall here, and this is what we are looking at in that zone for another wave of drop, and then we will be looking at that sell here in that area. Okay, so you can see the lower time frame here, 5 minutes price action doesn't look to me still very strongly bullish. I'm still holding on to that, though we see some upside bias locally. Welcome, and it's pushing back down, guys. You can see that the market is trying to push back down below, and that is where the price action, if you look at, is eventually coming further lower here to this support. Okay, again, the market slowly breaking that low. Okay, so here we can see quite a few smaller narrow candlestick pattern being formed in that area, which could be that the price action to break that low here, potentially to return down here. And still we see that lower high, higher low. So it's moving in a one single concentrated area. So this is what looking for the market to eventually break below to create a new lower low here in that area. And if you're enjoying the live session, make sure guys you give a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel. If you haven't done yet, press the notification bell so that you are not missing any of the content that I'm posting every day. That being said, we are looking for further entry once we can successfully take that out. And this is based on the technical, what is happening also currently in the geopolitics and the fundamental. Let's get ready for it to see that out of war we're here. Yep, that you can see. Now, looking at today, we don't have any red folder news, right? We don't have any data coming. But if you look at the current geopolitics, so there was a, I think there's a Truth Social post from President Trump. China is very happy that I am permanently opening the Strait of Hormuz. I am doing it for them also and the world. Okay, so here is a Truth Social post. Okay, so China is very happy that I am permanently opening the Strait of Hormuz and I'm doing it for them also and the world. The situation will never happen again. They have agreed not to send weapons to Iran, and President Xi will give me a big fat hug when I get there in a few weeks. We are working together smartly and very well. Doesn't that big fighting? But remember, we are very good at fighting if we have to, far better than anyone else. President DJT. Okay, so I think that's where the volatility comes. There is another one that I think earlier came. The US sends thousands more troops to Middle East as Trump seeks to squeeze Iran. WAPO. Okay, so here are some other move that you can see. Trump's Hormuz blockade put China, India, and cross-shire as US pressure on Iran spills over. So this is the news. So basically, few these are two considered as a high impact. This one is the latest, 1.5 hours ago. Now, I think this is what. Let's see that how has impacted with the recent geopolitics on the oil price. So oil price is, you see that once that news has come, oil price started to fall below. So basically, with the ease in the war or the Strait of Hormuz closure might be will ease the oil price. So we can see some kind of easing in the oil price at the moment. So we'll see that how it. So one thing that we can see, oil price now started to go down, okay, which is below $100. Here was at $100. So the market trading below $100 on oil is in fact a very good sign of the the current situation. This is what I would say, because oil price going up, that can be inflation, but that can go happen depending on where the situation is working. But at the moment, we can see that some ease in oil price, and that is giving some bullish bias on gold. And gold, we didn't take the profit. Now we can see the price start to push back here, and it might try to push further up. So no problem if we are looking to see that it's going out. We will be looking for re-entry. However, if we see that a short-term drop here, that might bring that market further lower here. So you could see that the market might bring this price back below in that area. We'll see that where it is heading. And with this movement, if you look at from this high here, the price action could continue if we see the market has got strongly rejected off that level. Will bring that price action further lower here, back below to this support level. And the 5 minutes close is important because the market has just broken this key resistance line. And if the market is getting rejection of that resistance level, the chances for this market to eventually come down further lower is higher in that area. We'll be looking to see where it is heading. So arrangement always waterfall coming. Who is arrangement? I'm not sure who is arrangement. There's no arrangement here. You are human. Okay, so what you'll see that here. And in that area, so if you look at as the market is Trump, okay, come on. Okay, let me ask you one question that might just take you somewhere else. Have you ever asked yourself, who, like for example, who am I? Now, if you are asked, or yourself, or ask anyone, who are you, then you're gonna say your name, right? For example, my name is XYZ. Now, how do you know that that's your name? You just, have you given your name, or someone else has given to you? So the truth is that everything is based on lie. Okay, that's the truth. Because if you are not XYZ, or the name that you are given, because it's subjected to change, right? Some people change their name, and when they change their name, that changes, right? So then everything is based on lie. The truth is that everything is based on lie. So then how do you conduct is that you have to have your set of values that you follow along and stick to it regardless of anything. That is where the truth is. Truth is in your value, and then you follow along with it regardless of anything. That is following the truth, is that this is my value, because the identity is what you value, or your value is your identity. This is who you are, not your name, nothing else. The values, okay? What do you care about? What do you value? And do you live according to your value? That is truth. If you live according to your value, that means you are following the truth. Not the truth that someone else tell you is not the truth. The truth is what you value and you follow along, then you are on the truth. Because this is the true for you, your value is true for you, and you are following the truth. Because everything is relative, nothing is permanent. Alright, so that's how you can find out everything. The irony is truth. Yeah, I know. That's just some fun. Okay, so now we are looking at here on to entry, and the market has gone up. We had a previous session one trade. This one has come to profit. I didn't take a smaller profit, but we might see now push back to the upside. Now I will not be taking we can move the stop loss for a rejection, because the chances for this market to have another wave of drop is higher. So I would like to ask you guys who want to move the stop loss. There's a chance for a drop. So I would like to move the stop, because it's a very tight stop loss. I will be moving another 1%. So we'll be moving little higher here. There is a chance for this market to drop again. So I'll be moving the stop loss the same number of pip here, okay? So will be moving to another around 80 pip. So I'm moving the stop loss higher. So I'm not taking the loss here. So I moved the stop loss at 4829, okay? That's where I have moved the stop loss. Thank you very much. Okay, so we are almost near to the stop loss, but I moved the stop loss because this market for me is still, there is a higher chance for further downside. So I'm not taking the stop loss. I moved the stop loss at 4829.68, and would like to see the market to drop down here. We'll be taking either break even or profit here in that zone. We're getting rejection here of that level, that looking to see the market to break below. So here we are looking at from this high here for the market to eventually drop back below further here to this support level, and we might see further upside because the market has here, if you look at, reached a very important key resistance line. Of that key resistance, they're expecting the market to respect that resistance and then to deepen further. So I'm still holding on to the trade, looking for a downside movement here back below to this key support area. You're looking at here in that area to see where the market is heading. Okay, so getting some rejection that you can see of that level, and with this rejection here, that the market eventually to expecting it to break below further and then to come down to create a new lower low. You see there is a breakup structure. Let's say that if this breakup structure is a change of trend or it is just a liquidity gap here in that area. Oh yeah, okay, thank you very much. Okay, so there is a breakup structure and the market is trying to push back. Might try to move up further here. I'll not be surprised to see that the market has gone even further. But if it reject off that level, that could bring the price to lower here. Now with this move, that looking for a potential reversal in this area here in this market. So with a double top here, if you look at the market is eventually, if you look at here, coming further lower here potentially, and that drop, if you look at, if the market touch that the EMA, that means the previous support area, that you will be looking at this market to break below further and then to create a new lower low here. So you can see that there is a double top, and off the double top there might be a reversal that I'm looking at from that resistance line, and there is a 5-minute candle close here that you can see how this 5-minute candle close also important because the market is rejecting of lower time frame key level, and if that rejection continues, so you might see the price to eventually lower here further back below to this support area. So we are progressing towards the NY session, and where we might see some further move. So with long wick, if you look at, there is a double top here in that area, and with this double top, the market to eventually come further lower here, back below to this support level. And this is what we are looking at in this zone for this market. And we see there is a head and shoulder being formed in that zone, and that head and shoulder might be breaking that market lower here. And you could see that the price action to reject down back below. Look at also the price action showing that there is a higher chance for this price action to deepen further lower here. So with another long wick candlestick pattern that you can see in this area here, with that another long wick price action that if you look at here, retested that resistance, okay, as a support and trying to get back to the upside here, that we could see the price action to eventually deepen further in that area. So we see upside bias of this level. Might have to take this one. Let's see that where it is heading. The market has moved well above here in that area, which could, if you look at the price action, has reached a key area of value. And with the 5 minutes candle close, if we see the price action is showing that there is a downside move, that you could see the price action to eventually break further lower here. With a long wick candlestick, so if you look at here, we can see that there is a significantly longer price action has formed here. Now with another 5 minutes candlestick pattern closed, the price action may try to push further up. Still be not worried because not a bigger risk here. All right, so here is with another long wick candlestick pattern. If you look at in that area, could be that the price action to eventually lower here, and that could come further lower back below. Let's see if the market is maintaining this one as a false breakout. And with the current 15 minutes candle close, if you look at this one is closing as a narrow doji, that could create potentially further bearish move. We are looking at here for a potential downside movement in that area. Here it's bull. We are seeing so far here in that area, but this market, that overall, if you look at this, is a downtrend. So if you look at earlier today, from this zone that you can see has drop pullback, another drop pullback. So this is a, if you look at that overall, the market from this top, it is in a downtrend. So this breakout that you can see is an extension of this downtrend. So I'm still a very high possibility that this market will come back below here to this support. If you look at the 4 hour, this is the first 4 hour candle closing in 16 minutes time. First 4 hour saying is because if you look here, you see that from this, the market has dropped a lot in that direction here, right? So with this drop that you can see, this is the 4 hour price action which is now closing in next 15 minutes. Now this 4 hour candle could remain in this zone. The next one is still there is a possibility for another wave of drop back to the support level. And that is where I'm short here on gold, because what we need to see that this 4 hour candle is remaining in that zone, potentially below our stop loss, so that the next one, once it is closing in the next 15 minutes, the new candle is opening, that I'm highly likely that this market will have a significant drop back below. And that's why I moved the stop loss. Once the market finally break this low, we'll be bringing the stop loss in our previous area of value. So that's what is a breaker block. Breaker block. I haven't heard of it. Let me see what is a breaker block. It's a new word to me. Okay, a breaker block is a smart money. Okay, probably I know it in a different way. So it's a smart money trading concept representing the failed order block that flip into high profitability reversal zone. So it's basically a false breakout. Breaker block is a flip into a high probability trading concept representing a failed order block that flips into a high probability reversal zone. It forms when price break through a previous support or resistance level, signaling a shift in institutional sentiment. Trader use them as a. So all come down to basically one simple concept is the false breakout, right? So when you see that smart money, if you see that order block, but the market failed that order block and then started to reverse. So for example, few areas that you can spot order block. There's one here, right? So this is an order block. Now you can see the market after a consolidation drop to that order block. You can see, and then reverse and then bounce. So it moved in the direction of the order block. However, in some cases you see the market will eventually break below, retest, and then continue to trend. That is what you are telling that breaker block. So the opposite of order block, right? So that is the breaker block. Now that is the failed order block, right? So if the market smart money failed order block, so which is another way of false breakout. False breakout is an integral part of the market, right? Because the market constantly create false breakout. Market is constantly creating a false breakout, and by creating a false breakout, basically accumulate order in the market, right? So why it is important false breakout to know? Because if you don't know the false breakout, you will never be able to be profitable as a trader. Trust me on that. Because the real move happens from the area of false breakout. When the market creates that false breakout, the market goes a lot, because this is where the smart money volume comes in the market. All right, so from the 4 hour, we can see a push of this resistance line, but there is a very high chance for this market with the 4 hour candle close before that for the market to push back down further. There's a double top here in that area. So the price on a resistance line from the 4 hour perspective, it reached to a key area of value. And it's not unusual to see this market is moving in a sideways in that area. So 4-hour candle closing with a in 4 minutes time, and we can see that there is upside bias here. I'm still holding on to that with the 4-hour candle close. The 4-hour, and the market slowly trying to break that low here, getting few rejection, and still be moving. I'm moving my 4834. There is a higher chance for a move drop below. So this market with the 4-hour candle close will still be a higher chance for the market to it moved a lot back to the upside, but this is a in that area there is a bullish trend. So I'm on the trade again because there is a very high chance for this market to eventually return down back below. All right, so here is the 4-hour candle close coming in 2 minutes time, and I'm looking at here for I'm still on the trade. Are you guys on the trade? Can you let me know in the chat? I'm still on this trade, and the chances for this market for me still how oil is going. Oil is, if you look at it's on a bearish trend at the moment. It might move in a sideways a little higher, but we are on a gold trade that with the 4-hour candle close that you can see, just candle close, and chances for this market to deepen here as it reach that key areas. But this is where, if you look at here, there was initially candle close, and you can see the price action is with the candle close, the chances for the market for another retest is higher. The market left an imbalance here, but at the same time, it left imbalance in that direction here as well. So this trade, I will be happy to close below our entry once the market is showing that potential further bearish drop here in that area. Okay, got rejection from the higher price that you can see. Holding sell, yeah. Anyone holding? Coach, I have a chat with you by email. Yes, anyone. For those who are in the premium group, there is admin address. So if you want to email that, you can email us info@forextradingwizard.com. info@forextradingwizard.com. You can email us, or if you want to have a direct contact with me, also you can find, if you are on the premium group, you can find the admin address, or you can find link below this video. Also directly chat with me after the live session. It's cool. Holding on sell. Anyone holding on this sell? Okay, so if you look here, the market, no, anyone, yes or no? You can say yes or no. I'd like to see how many moves. It rejected back below. You can see with a stronger move, and because the market has reached that key area of value. Okay, no. That's fine. Okay, no. Okay. That's fine. Okay, here is looking to see potential directional bias, and okay, so the market, if we look at here, it's creating a consolidation pattern. The trend is still showing that there is a trend line here. Now, the break of this trend line can create a possibility for further downside in this market. Now, the price action of this key level is still showing that there is, you look at here, this is the 5 minutes price action, and that candlestick pattern is very important because this will give us the real information about the live market. And if you look here in that zone with this candlestick pattern, the price action is still downside here in that area. Let's have little louder music here, and then we will be looking at to see what's happening. Let's share up a little bit. with a long wick here that we could see further bearish move here in that area. In the last moment there is an upside, yes. Still. Okay. Now at this moment I'm looking at the trade to come back below our entry to close with. Now we can see few rejection again showing up at the key level. Got a rejection here, so with another rejection of that level. Okay, getting rejection here. getting rejection here. So if it breaks below, looking to see that breaking a lot and coming potentially down back below here to the support. And yeah, so this, if you look at this, is 15 minutes candlestick pattern. If it get rejected properly, you might see the market to deepen here further below to this support area. Okay, so just the form 15 minutes and the majority of the time frame, the price action just looks so bearish, but somehow it is still going higher. I think you are to the point. This is what's happening. The price action was looking so bearish, and if you look at here, you see that this zone here, it was a very high bearish signal, right? Why? Let's look at how the market structure is formed here. You can see that this is a one single move, and if you look at that overall, it was in a strong downtrend. So breakup structure, usually from that zone that I was expecting the market to drop down here to this support, but you can see that eventually it's gonna come down here again. It is less likely that the market will be bullish here from that without at least retesting this low again. If it wants to go back again to retest this high, this is an imbalance that with this breakup structure that we can expect the market to drop again to this support one more time and then to bounce back up. So this is an ideal scenario. However, if you look at some of the geopolitical event also confluencing the market, so if that happens, the market sometime will not follow the grammar, this part of trading. So we are looking to see actually, because as a trader we need to look at the grammar, either the market follow or no, because majority of the time it will follow the technical analysis, especially because the sentiment is very, very unpredictable. But sometimes it's not gonna follow the analysis because of the sentiment, as I mentioned. Let's say the market is in a downtrend, okay? Downtrend because the smart money is selling and suddenly something happened that unexpected. So what will happen? Smart money will not sell, probably will buy again. And the market will change the trend immediately. So that can happen, all right? So this is what sometimes the market doesn't follow the trend. Should be breaking 4780. There is a higher chance that this market will be lower further before it eventually bounce back up. So there is a still chance for a higher chance for further lower. Look at the 30 minutes here. You can see that in the first few minutes the market has shown on the 15 minutes as well. So the 15 minutes candle, you can see if this one is closing as a red, there is and then we can see the market trying to break that lower here. Okay, so here is the candle close on the 15-minute chart and looking for this market to eventually break that low here downside. And okay, if this support breaks below, we can expect further bearish pressure here. And that if eventually breaks below, I'm looking at 4808 potentially to come if it does. And how many of you are running this trade now? Okay, it's getting that downside here near the previous entry. It's getting that downside here that you can see the market slowly. Okay, so we are almost nearing to the previous support area that if you guys look at, and I believe you are on that. So, and I might close very soon because it's now coming below our entry, and that is at the moment we are running this trade quite a while, and let it drop a little further downside here. This drop might bring that market here back below to the order block, so I'll give a shout out as soon as I close this trade in that area here. Guys, I'm going out with this trade right now. I'm exiting the trade with the running P&L. So here, if you look at that, you entered profit now. Okay, that's a good point. It's going in for those who have re-entered, can be in profit. Okay, so I'm exiting. It might drop further, but you can see that it created a head and shoulder. And if you look at the 4 hour here, as we mentioned, after the 4 hour candle close, the market may reverse back below. Now this move even could come down to 47. If you look at here, 4791 level, that can come, right? So we'll be looking at here to see that actually how the market is evolving in that area, which is if you look at here, this is in this area here from this support level that you can see it might try to bounce back up here. If it failed to do so, we could see the market eventually to drop here to this order block, to this key support area. That might happen here in that area. So traders, this is another break-even session, but we had our previous session successful. This one break-even, but that's how we every day we trade every day. There are more trade coming later today with the upcoming, if you look at that, with the upcoming NY session, the market might be pretty volatile later today. So as you guys can see that we are progressing towards the NY session and looking for more entries, and I hope that you enjoyed this session. You can stay connected with us by joining the Telegram. You can find link below this video. Free Telegram, currently premium mentorship is closed. We had quite a few new members, and welcome to the board. And here we have all the system that we are trading every single day. And I believe that you guys are excited for the system that we are trading and consistently growing. Now, with the current volatility, we want to scale up our trading and entry. That being said, and I'll see you again very soon with tomorrow's live session coming up again on Thursday and also Friday. 2 days with the calendar. If you look at here, tomorrow there will be some news on AUD, which is in earlier. So that might create a volatility on gold. And that you can see the market on gold is trying to, this is, you can see it's now breaking below. So that might lead that market now back to this support. This is what I was talking about, that this market, if you look at here, was in a downtrend. And after that much of downtrend, the market to eventually remain bearish here. Well done, well done. You are always welcome. And yep, let's look forward to enter some more trade later today. And if you are on the premium group, you can keep eye for any update that I'm sharing in the group. So thank you, and we'll speak to you soon, guys. Until then, stay well, stay happy.